Cause ain't nobody else got a praise like me. Hands to the sky, stand up on your feet. All I wanna see is my dad be bleed. So I yada da, yada da, yada da, yada da, yada da, yada da, yada da.
This video is sponsored by our partnership with God Made Merch, my go-to for faith-based clothing that I personally wear. Catch the latest from the brand on Instagram at _GodMadeMerch. Get 10% off when you visit GodMadeMerch.com and apply the code YDKRadio at checkout. God Made Merch. We are all created in His image. All right, we back with the homie Sharp Skills, man. We gonna talk a little bit about you. Like I said, man, he's not just an artist, a minister. He's also an author, man, and we're gonna talk about it. Your second book,
man.
You Are the Solution,
Yes,
and it says awaken the entrepreneur spirit within you. Like I said, since I've known you, we met, like you said, around senior year of high school. That's crazy. So, like, I think I met you right after all that stuff started happening in your life.
Yep.
So, I remember that's when we were hitting the market real heavy doing the music. I think me and you were like the youngest at that time doing it. So it was like a bond. Me, you, Josiah, some other young cats, man. So we was always together. He was beating me in the video games.
Bro, I had to do it.
It was both ways, but I'm just saying. He's the one that taught me how to put honey in my tea. I never did that until I came to your house, bro. It was just honey, like no sugar. I was like, what? Okay, so
got to. That's the one.
So, man, I always saw you as not just like I said, an artist, but an entrepreneur.
Yes, sir.
So this is your second book. You Are the Solution, man. Just talk about the writing process for this joint, bro.
So I've been working. I had started working on this book around 2015, and I put out my last book, Accuracy, in 2014. So I just started getting the itch all over again to start, and I had just this concept, you are the solution, kind of burning in me, and I'll say like the first few years was kind of like that wandering in the wilderness a little bit because I just had a lot of life going on. I had a new baby come in, and I relocated because I had moved back to LA after I graduated from college.
Right.
And so I moved back out here in 2014. So there was just a lot going on. So those few years was just kind of like jotting the ideas out and just letting it, kind of cook.
Yeah.
But 2019 is when I got serious. That's when I wrote it down like, this is gonna be the year that I put out You Are the Solution, and I just, I'm a real big believer in manifesting and writing things down, and I believe that has a lot of power in terms of moving folks to get to their goals.
That's a message for somebody right there.
Real
already.
talk.
Already, yeah.
Yeah, like write those goals down. So 2019, every day I said I'm gonna write every day, no matter how, even if it's just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and I just stayed consistent. There was a couple days that I fell off a little bit, but for the most part, I wrote every day. And the way that I tracked that was I would always email, after I got done writing a new portion of the book, I would always email that updated version to myself, and I would put the date in the subject line. And then I would do little things along the way, like when I first hit 10,000 words in the subject line of the email, I'd be like, new milestone, 10,000 words.
Dope.
Yeah, when I got to 100 pages today. And I just kept encouraging myself, sharing little things on social media and stuff like that, to stay motivated. And, I ended up meeting with a dope editor, Christina Butcher with Blue Cactus. I met her in a workspace that I was using in Tacoma.
She helps you with the accuracy too, right?
No. I had another person do that. This one, she was specifically on this, but she has her own publishing company. And so she pretty much just walked me through the whole situation. Like she was like the project manager that helped me get everything in line and together and gave me a game plan. And that's what really helped me finish this book, having somebody come alongside me and give me a calendar. Like, if this is your goal to release this book in February of 2020, these are the next steps that we need to do in these months leading up to that. Dope. And with that, that's, so it was definitely a team. So
240 something pages, bro. 240, what is it, 240 250.
Yeah, bro.
250 page book, bro. Second book.
Mm-hmm.
What really got you into becoming an author, man? Like, did you like? I know how a lot of people be like, yo, I want to write a book, but this is your second book that you've already written. So talk to me about that.
For sure. So I have a mom and I have an aunt who have both are authors. And so when I was coming up, I just saw that they had books, so that made it normal to me, you know. And I'm sure you can relate, like with your mom doing music back in the day, it just made it normal to you to put out CDs and create music. So it was the same situation. Like my mom got a book, my aunt got a couple books. It's to me, it's just doable. Like it's like a no-brainer almost, So within that, now it's just figuring out the steps to make that happen. And also, too, I think for me, like you said, even from the business standpoint, there's just more validity sometimes that comes like when you tell folks you got a book, like they just treat you different, look at you different. And I wanted to start getting into the public speaking game. Right. And so with that, I was like, I kind of need a book to be like my business card and to generate that interest. Yeah. And so that's why, I really started doing it. Now more so, I think a big part of it is just the legacy piece. Like, and it's, I don't want to, make this sad, but just thinking about cats like Kobe, thinking about cats like Nipsey Hussle and, several others that have gone on at young ages, and God forbid, Lord, let me be around for a long time. Right, I understand. I just want to make sure that I got something here that outlives me and something for my kids to benefit from financially, spiritually, mentally, like they can always pick up Dad's book and be like, man, he left the codes right here, so.
And that's the power in podcasts too. Like, I mean, even something like this, they be like,
real talk.
When we're not here, real talk, one day we're either going to be with the Lord or we're not going to be here any longer, and it's like, this is the kind of stuff that your kids will be able to watch and go be like, oh, that's Dad, man. Okay, he's telling me his story. He's telling me about how he got going. So, that's the real reason why we do this kind of stuff, man. It lives on. I have a couple pastors. Unfortunately, they passed away, but like if you want to hear them, since I was helping them with their podcast, this is what you can hear them talk about. So it's like you said, you want to have something that lives on beyond you. Talking about this book, not only do you got the book, now you just told me a little bit about the school adding you on. Can you talk a little bit about that?
For sure, yeah. So I'm doing. I'm a facilitator. I facilitate a workshop for the Acts 6 scholars at Pacific Lutheran University, and I do that every third Saturday of every month. That'll be going until I want to say May, but I've been doing that for the past, in its totality, will be 9 months. Okay. And they're using my book Accuracy, which is my first book, as the curriculum, part of the curriculum. That's for that. Bro. So last week we talked about relationships. Then last month we talked about vision. So I'm going through each chapter of the book, pretty much sharing with them things that are beneficial for them in this stage of life. And it's been dope, bro. Like,
so he didn't even say it, but this is Professor Sharp Skills now. Come on, man.
Man, I ain't got tenure yet, but school of the hard knocks, man. It's just God has given me something to say, bro. So just sharing it. We do. You got to pour into the people, man.
I mean, the crazy thing is, you said you barely made it past high school.
Yeah.
And now not only are you in colleges, you're speaking in colleges, but now you got classes with your own book.
It's crazy.
So I mean, to me, that shows the dedication. I mean, this is one of my guys. He's a Kobe Bryant fan to the T.
Yes, sir.
Why are you a Kobe Bryant fan? Tell him real quick.
Okay, so I grew up in LA, and I grew up right around the corner from the Great Western Forum when Kobe first came to LA. Okay. So I was watching this guy. Literally, I felt like I knew him. Like he's 6 years older than me. Yeah. And I identified with him. I'm an 11-year-old watching this 17-year-old phenom coming to the league, and then just his dedication, and his commitment to being excellent and being the best that he could possibly be. Yeah. That's something that I deeply identify with. So that's why he's my GOAT. People, say who's the greatest. I know that we can argue Jordan, LeBron, Bill Russell, all of these different, but Kobe is my GOAT. You know what I'm saying? When I look at
his GOAT.
Yeah, my GOAT. So he should be everybody's, but
I'm a huge Kobe fan. I was a huge Kobe fan. Like after the Sonics left,
that's all.
The Lakers was my team. I mean, Kobe was it, and then Russell came through, man. So he got the same kind of mindset. Yeah. Real talk, man. We got this book. You Are the Solution. Like, what is the main things somebody's gonna get from it? Like if you're gonna give them a sales pitch, why should they go get this book?
So you need to go get this book because this is gonna empower you to see yourself as the change agent that can make the difference in your life, in the life of those that you care about, and the causes that you're most passionate about. Oftentimes, when we see these horrific things happening in our society, we're thinking, what can I possibly do? What can little old me, what difference can I make? And this book is to serve as motivation, inspiration, even a guide map on how you can approach being the change that you want to see in society, and not waiting for the government, not waiting for these big, huge companies or organizations to start that. You can start that wherever you're at, you know, and so that's what I want to empower people to do, is to see themselves as the change agent that they've been waiting for. Like, stop waiting on other people to come and save you. This is what you're called to do. This is what you're passionate about, and it's just a matter of just connecting the dots to bring it together and make it happen.
Dope. Also, I'm looking at some of the chapters. One of them that stood out to me is invest in people.
Yes, sir.
And be a collaborator. Many times people were like, invest in yourself.
Right.
And you kind of get, which that is a good thing to do.
Yeah.
But sometimes they do it at the, what's the best word? They do it at the expense of others.
Yeah.
I'm going to invest in myself, but I can't help you at all. So talk to me a little bit about that chapter. Invest in people, be a collaborator.
Yeah. So going back to even what you said, yes, investing in yourself is critical, but I even feel like there is a benefit to us ourselves personally when we invest in others. For one, let's say you're running an organization, you can't, as the CEO of that organization, you can't be everywhere at once. Yeah. So you have to empower other people. You have to pour yourself into other people so that they can continue to build and, you know, make that organization go further. The other thing too is that people need what you have to offer. There's only something very specific and unique that you have to give that they're looking for. And so if we don't invest in others, then they're not getting that benefit. And also you're not realizing your fullest potential because you're holding on to it. You know, in the Bible, it talks about how Christ said that unless a seed falls to the ground and dies, it cannot produce a harvest. So even through that process of investing in others, by dying to self, by giving that information, that knowledge, that expertise, that resource, we're allowing others to flourish, and it creates a greater harvest of information and ability and progress, you know, that we can't see by just holding on to it by ourselves.
Dope. And then the other chapter that kind of stood out to me is chapter 2, how entrepreneurship can save us. Talk to me about that.
Yes, sir. So the stat, I believe, is 99% of all businesses in the U.S. are small businesses. And if you think about that, that means that they're the ones that are responsible in many cases for a lot of the job growth and the growth in the economy. And so when we look at things like poverty, when we look at issues even in, I'd say a big issue is just the dignity that people feel because, you know, as a man specifically, if you're not earning, that's a horrible situation, like in terms of how you feel about yourself, your self-esteem. And so, and I'm not just saying that specifically for men, but I just across the board. So when you're given I believe it was Van Jones said that the quickest way to stop a bullet is with a job. And so if you have entrepreneurs that are out there creating this ingenuity to start these companies and hire folks, for one, you are helping eradicate that cycle of perpetual poverty that we see in many of our communities and communities that look like us. And then also you're giving people that dignity of work where they're having self-esteem and they're having, just the ability to see other options than what was normally presented to them. So I believe that especially for Black folks, African Americans, those that are in impoverished communities, I believe that a big part of us getting out of those situations is through entrepreneurship. You know, the ingenuity that comes from that, the economy that comes from that, that's what's gonna enable us to get out of a lot of these destructive cycles that we find ourselves in.
Yeah, I just recognize you got the Rebel Firm on the
chest,
on the fitted. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what's up.
Got to, man.
Look, real talk. Tell them how to go get this book. Where they can go pick it up at and everything like that.
So the book officially drops February 28th.
This Friday.
This Friday. And But you can go to my website, which is thesharpskills.com, and that's spelled, it's like no Z's or nothing in it. It's just thesharpskills.com.
Real words.
And you'll also be able to get it off of Amazon and Kindle and all of the other, large book retailers, on February 28th.
Okay, cool, man. Go get that.
Yeah.
We're going to put all your information on the bottom and everything like that, man. So Sharp Skills, you are the solution. Awakening the entrepreneurial spirit within. Go check out his book as soon as you can. This video is sponsored by our partnership with God Made Merch, my go-to for faith-based clothing that I personally wear. Catch the latest from the brand on Instagram at _GodMadeMerch. Get 10% off when you visit GodMadeMerch.com and apply the code YDKRadio at checkout. God Made Merch. We are all created in His image.